This is probably going to be one of the most gruesome stories that you will ever hear me talk about on this channel. The way I found out about this story, I believe, was on social media, and I think it was on Instagram where I found out about it. Because due to lamestream media, I would have never known. And if anybody who lives in the New York area, can you please let me know if you knew about this story before I talked about it, or if you even came across it on social media yourself? Did any kind of local, besides local news stations, did any international or national outlets cover this? My guess is no, and I don't think it's a mystery as to why that is. But let me just get into it. This woman's name is Brandy Odom. She is from New York and she was 26 years old. And earlier today, they found her body, or should I say, pieces of her body, scattered around a park in New York. That's right. Her body was found dismembered. They said her torso, head, and limbs were all separated from each other. My guess is that whoever killed this woman most likely did it in a different location and then took her remains and scattered it in this park. There's no way I could see them doing this out in the open and then just letting her body there and no one saw anything. This person, whoever did it at some location where it was just them two and scatter her body around. And the only way they were able to ID her body was because of her tattoos. That was how they were able to determine who she was. I can't even be having to learn that their loved one not only was murdered, but was brutally dismembered. I mean, it's one thing when you found out that your loved one is murdered, maybe they were stabbed, or maybe they were shot, or they were hit by a car in a hit and run, or maybe it was a DUI incident. But to find out that your loved one that you care for so long in all of your life and all of their life was completely destroyed the way that this person was, that way she was, they are probably in the worst state of shock that you can ever imagine possible. I'm going to go ahead and read this article. The dismembered remains of a woman found Monday in a wooded area of a New York City park had been identified as belonging to 26-year-old Brandy Odom. Odom's naked torso, head, and limbs were discovered throughout Brooklyn's Carnegie Park by a neighborhood resident, an NYC police spokesperson tells People. On Wednesday, investigators recovered a bloody saw from a trash can in the park in the woods. It remains unclear how Odom died, but authorities told the station and other local media that they believe her remains were cut up and dispersed after she was killed elsewhere. I just said that. Whoever killed her most likely knocked her out somehow, or maybe did something to her, maybe strangled her, and then cut up her body and then brought it to the park and dismembered and put everything there. And this person is so wicked, they actually left the weapon that they used to cut her up, which was, of course, with a saw. And not a chainsaw, but an actual saw. Of course, they wouldn't use a chainsaw because it's too loud. On Tuesday, Odom's family learned of her death while watching local news, according to the New York Times. That's when her grandmother saw that the body in the park had the same tattoo as her granddaughter, the word chocolate above her left breast, which I'm guessing is this tattoo right here. Worried, she called Odom's mother, Nicole Odom, who went down to the precinct and confirmed her daughter's identity. Everybody loved her. I can't even see how one person would want to do this to her. Brandy was friendly with everybody. Whoever did this to my daughter, I might not know who did it. The police might not know who did it, but the great God above who knows who did it, and you will be dealt with for your sins that you've caused. Patricia Smith, who found Brandy dead, told the News 12 Brooklyn that she was walking her dog when she saw the torso partially covered with leaves. As I went in the path and looked to the left, I saw something resembling a garbage bag, but as I went by and looked back and looked again, I realized it was a body that was dismembered, and I just took off running. Brandy, who was from NYC, had worked as a security guard and wanted to become a city school safety agent. The pair last spoke in March. She had ambitions, she had a game plan. A neighbor told the paper she wanted to work and take care of herself. Like, this is sad. Like, it really is sad. But now it makes me beg the question, who was this person to her? Like, did this person know her? Was this a hit put out on her? Like, what was the connection between her and this person? We still don't, like, it's a mystery. Now this is a story that I want to keep up with. In particular, like, this is very sad. Like, this is very disturbing. Like, who would do this to this woman? Why did they do it? We already know how, as far as the dismembering part, but we don't know how they actually killed her before. They probably injected her with something to calm her body down so she wouldn't move, so she wouldn't feel anything. But like they said, they probably killed her, and then that's when they cut her up. Because I couldn't see them doing this while she was still alive. I can't even imagine the pain that she had to go through while this was all happening to her. This is straight up torture. Whoever did this to this woman, when they find who did this to her, this person deserves nothing but immediate death. Don't even have a trial. Just get them where they stand. Don't even take them in. If it's possible, take them out right then on the spot. But I offer my condolences to her family and her loved ones, and I'm gonna stay on top of this story because this is very fucked up in every sense of the words.